Welcome back to another video. Today I want to talk about 8 perspective shifts that changed my life. Let's get straight into them. The first one is that hard work works. I truly believe that the majority of men today are just lazy. And that's why they're not getting what they want. They're lazy. And I used to be one of them. Doing just enough to not get fired. The bare minimum. I remember having conversations with my friends back in the day that went along the lines of, oh man, I didn't do nothing at work today. And I'd almost be bragging about that. Didn't do anything. But at the back of my mind, I always felt a little bit guilty about that as well. You know, and I wasn't truly proud of it because I felt like I was just wasting my days. To my friends, I was bragging about it. I didn't do anything. But then as I matured, I realized, you know what? That's not anything to be proud of. You respect yourself as a man when you work hard. When you hit the pillows at night knowing that you had a packed day. You did everything that you could. So ask yourself, are you working hard or hardly working? And remember, how you do anything is how you do everything. If you're a lazy worker at your job, you will most definitely be a lazy entrepreneur. And don't give me this, well, Ali, I believe in working smart, not hard. That's just stupid. Look at some of the most successful men in the world. Elon Musk. Is he a lazy worker? No, he's a hard worker. There were periods of time where he slept in his office for months on end. Don't give me some 23-year-old dropshipper's Instagram account and say, well, Ali, he only works 1 hour a week. That's BS. And it's fraudulent as well. And any entrepreneur that tries to sell you a 1 hour a week system is lying to you. And you can't be gullible enough to believe that. Work hard. And I want you guys to work hard on something that brings you fulfillment. Look, if you're in a job that doesn't quite bring you fulfillment, well, then you have to have that conversation with yourself and you have to start exploring alternative options. Maybe creating something on the side that you can sink your teeth into after work. Maybe it's changing jobs. But you shouldn't feel like your days are just going without you doing anything. That's how you begin to feel depressed. Yeah, it might be cool to brag about initially. Yeah, I don't do anything, I get paid. But after a while, you're going to feel like, man, I'm wasting my life here. You want to be able to say, I struggled. I had this many setbacks and then I won. So many banks rejected me. And then, you know what? I just kept persistent, got the loan eventually, started the business, or, you know, I raised the funds. It's the conquest. It's the failures, the repeated failures that then eventually lead to the successes. That's what makes the successes sweet. The victory. Beautiful. The storyline. The zero to hero. The second perspective shift is you don't get a second chance at a first impression. Take it seriously. Dress your best. Don't give me the, well, I'm only going to Tesco's. Go to Tesco's in a 3-piece. Well, look, listen, I may take it to an extreme. Okay, I wear suits every week, every day. But, you know, occasionally, put some effort in. I mean, look, I'm going to make some separate videos on what suits to buy first. But if you don't have a suit right now, invest in a good one. Don't be cheap. You get what you pay for. This is a new suit, by the way, from Suit Supply. But take it seriously. Because it impacts the way that you feel about yourself. And when you feel good, you do good. I always talk about that. But also, people have the right to judge you. Don't be like, well, it's a sad world that we live in. People judge you. Yeah, they will. Reality check. They will. So what kind of impression do you want to leave? Do you want to leave the impression of somebody who takes care of himself, takes pride in the way that he presents himself? Or somebody that doesn't care, who's given up? Because your clothes do reflect how you view yourself. If you're going to the gym, whatever. I mean, when I go to the gym, I put on whatever, man. A vest and any jogging bottoms that I can find. But outside the gym, your day-to-day activities, how do you look? And I want my kids to be able to say, Dad was a smooth operator, when they see countless pictures of me in double-breasted suits and three-pieces, you know? This guy with his Italian loafers, one heck of a man, right? My kids, none of my kids, will be better dressed than me. I want to set the expectations so high. I'll probably have to pass on my suits to them, to be fair. But, you know, take care of your appearance. It will bring opportunities to you. It will. In the form of potentially a job offer. If a recruiter for a business happens to see you wearing a nice, impeccable suit, he may make a comment, or she may make a comment on how you're dressed, and that opens a conversation. You don't know. I get compliments all the time about my suits. People do notice, believe me. Most people today don't take care of the way that they dress. It's very rare to see another fella in a double-breasted suit, I'll tell you that. Very rare. I think this year I've probably only seen it in where I live maybe 3 or 4 times, and it's October. I'm pretty confident I'm the best dressed person in my city, to be fair. Right, so take care of your appearance. It doesn't come from a place of thinking you're better than anyone else. No. It comes from a place of self-respect. I respect myself enough to present my best self to people. Okay? The third perspective shift is that profits are better than wages. This is a quote from the late, great Jim Rohn. Profits are better than wages. Wages, as he put it, make you a living, which is fine. Profits, however, make you a fortune, which is super fine. And both are okay. Now, it just depends on what you want. Do you want fine or super fine? You know, I've talked about it before on the channel. I'm not one of those guys that talks down on jobs. I'm just big on opportunity. I know that there are so many incredible avenues that we can take advantage of in 2023. And so you don't have to settle for an environment that doesn't really bring you any fulfillment. Sometimes you just got to step up and take whatever job, as long as it's moral, legal, and ethical, because you're in a situation and you need to get yourself out of it. But there comes a point where, you know what, maybe I can start a business selling typewriters or secondhand furniture or whatever. And the answer is you can, because other people have done it and continue to do it. And you also got to think of it this way. If you get paid £10 an hour, there's only so many hours in a day. And assuming you were superhuman and you could work 24 hours a day, the max you could ever make is £240 a day, earning £10 an hour. Now, the reason why profits are so much better is you can create a product for $240 or pounds. And if you sell 2 of them a day, that's $480 or £480 a day. So now, just by having a product, the profits that it generates are now generating you double what you could have earned if you were to work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. All right, it's leverage. And now we live in a time where you can create products that are very easily distributed online, digital products as an example. I mean, the possibilities are endless. So definitely start looking at what you could do. Now, if you're happy being in an environment where you know what you're going to get every single month, then that's fine. I'm not here to talk down on you and tell you that, you know, you're going to be a brokey and a peasant the rest of your life, but as long as you're happy. That's my philosophy. Now, if you are in an environment and you continue to complain about it, well, then this is what I'm here for. I'm here to tell you, leave. Or start thinking about how you can make more money in the current environment that you're in. Complaining has negative ROI. It just makes you feel worse. All right? So that's the third perspective shift. Profits are better than wages. The next perspective shift is increased value leads to increased compensation. When I first got into entrepreneurship, I was only after the end goal, the watches, the cars, and I was young. and, you know, Instagram messed me up. Of course it did. I'll put my hands up and admit that. Because I was after the lifestyle. I wasn't focusing on delivering the best possible value to my customers that I possibly could. Okay, I was end goal orientated, not process orientated. And when I made that perspective shift, when I realized, okay, Ali, in order for you to make more money, you need to actually give a damn about your customers. You need to get better, you know, eliminate this entitlement. You're not entitled to a 6-figure, 7-figure lifestyle just because you want it. It's nice that you want it, but you've got to actually prove that you're good enough. It's like the world of football. You know, I'm a big football fan. You know, there are some players that will demand insane wages, but they just don't back it up on the field. And then there are players like Messi or Ronaldo who, throughout their careers, have earned every contract that they've been given. As ludicrous as those contracts were, in my opinion, fully deserved. Okay, I've never understood the mindset of, well, they don't deserve it. You know, why is a doctor? It's a different game. You can't compare them. Okay, it's supply and demand. There's a demand to watch these games. The amount of money in football is insane. It's a business. Don't be upset about that. All right, so you've got to actually prove that you're good enough. You've got to develop. You've got to get better. When you get better, you earn more money. Simple as that. Over the years, I've earned more money because I've decided to consciously work on my skill sets. I need to become a better communicator, a better salesperson. I need to refine my processes, read more. And as a result, success comes frequently in increasing quantities on a consistent basis, as I like to say. Okay, create an environment that caters for success. You can't demand success and not do the work. I mean, that's what a child will do. Screams because he wants some ice cream until he gets what he wants. You need to do the work. Okay? The next perspective shift is excellent communication, or excellent communication skills will open doors for you. This is something I've talked about on the channel numerous times. Develop your communication skills. Learn how to become more articulate. I've made videos on this topic in the past. I'll probably make another one soon. I certainly wasn't as good at communicating as I am now. Back then, stuttering left, right, and center, speaking too fast, speaking on things I didn't know anything about. And what I realized over the years was that I could make some adjustments that would improve the way that I communicate and improve the way that people perceive me. Right? I take my physical appearance very seriously, but also, what do people think when I open my mouth? Do they perceive me as somebody who is educated at what he's talking about, confident at what he's talking about? Is he silky? Is he smooth? Now, I'm not doing it for people, although obviously when you're in business, you're selling to people. When you're creating content, you are speaking to real people. So working on how people perceive you is very important. So learn how to become a great communicator. Give you a couple of tips on that right now. Listen to people who are great communicators. Listen to how they speak, their tonality. Do they pause? Do they raise their voice and then lower their voice? Pay attention to those things. And also, the second point is read more. You pick up new words, you add them to your vocabulary, and using different words makes you appear more educated, more intelligent. And they've actually done studies where they've linked people with a smaller vocabulary to increased crimes, or the increased likelihood of committing crimes. Okay, so when you become more intellectual, when you become more intelligent, typically it results in obviously better opportunities, which means you're less likely to commit crime, whatever. That's a different topic altogether. All right, so learn how to become a great communicator. The next perspective shift is networking effectively will rapidly accelerate your progress. This is something, looking back, I should have done more of. Improved the way or how frequently I networked with people. Yes, it's great that you want to do things your way and you want to go solo, but you can get there a lot quicker if you just speak to the right people or ask someone, who do you know? There's a concept called the 6th degree of separation. Between you and anybody in the world, there are 6 people. Between you and Cristiano Ronaldo, there's 6 people. So you know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who can get you to Ronaldo. That's just the way it is. Now, I don't know why you'd want to contact Cristiano Ronaldo, but, you know, it's an example. If you would just simply ask, do you know anybody that? And then just see what people say. Someone might say, unfortunately, I don't, but my friend does. There you go. There's a door. But most people fear the potential rejection when they ask such a question. And there shouldn't be anything for you to be worried about. If they say, no, I don't, that's cool. In fact, they respect the fact that you have the desire to want to level up and to want to be connected to high performers. And if somebody asks me a question about, Ali, who do you know that does this? And I know, I'll connect them because I like seeing people on the come up. I like seeing people working towards something great. People that take initiative and don't just wait for things to happen. They go out there and make things happen. I like seeing that. So network. Okay. The next perspective shift is that hardships are not special gifts reserved for the poor. I know a lot of people often feel like these things always happen to people like us, or, you know, you might have heard that growing up, and we are the kind of people that, you know, I don't know, maybe your parents have said something like that, or everybody will get dealt a bad card eventually. There are very successful, wealthy people with terminal cancer. We all are going to die, every single one of us. Whether you're rich, poor, doesn't matter. We're all going to be 6 feet under at some point. So change the way you look at hardship. Instead of looking at it and comparing your hardship with somebody else's, try and learn about what your hardship is trying to teach you. And keep things moving. Don't compare. Comparison, as they say, is the thief of joy, right? But how comes he isn't going through? Don't compare. How comes he's got? Don't compare. Stay in your lane. Okay? The final perspective shift is that you become what you think about. Whatever you say, the words that you utter, pour ingredients into your mental factory. And what the output is depends on the quality of the ingredients. If you put a load of shit in there, well, then the output will be shit. It'll be rubbish. If you put good thoughts in there, then the output will be good. Input, output. That's simple. When I was negative, I had poor results because I self-sabotaged, because I saw myself as a victim. And as a result, things just didn't work out. When I complained about how I always had money problems, I continued having money problems. When I made that adjustment, now look, I still have negative thoughts. I'm not here to say that I no longer have them. Of course I do. I'm a human being. But what I say to myself is strictly positive and encouraging. It's not naive. It's not, you know, I'm not lying to myself. I keep it real, which is why I journal every single day. But when I communicate with me, it's always in a very supportive manner. Look at what you've accomplished. This is why journaling is great. This is what's happened over the last week. Give yourself credit for this. You've lost this much weight. You've done this. You've made this much money. Keep going. You could do this better. You know? But it's constructive. It's never negative. It's never, why do bad things? Never. All right? Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you give it a like, comment, let me know what you think down below. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. I'll see you boys in the next one.